Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to LDUS Boxing. Back again with another one. So, we got this fight week, January the 31st, February the 2nd, man. It's a big time fight week. I'm looking forward to it. We got return of Clarissa Shields. She's back February the 2nd. We got the big pay-per-view, David Morrell versus David Benavidez. We're going to touch on all of that and everything in between. Before I get into it, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Tap in with my social media, Instagram, Twitter, and the website, ldusboxing.com. So you guys can go on there, check out the schedule, man. Much appreciated, for sure. So we're going to get into it, man. Starting off, we have a card out in Russia. So, you know what I'm saying? So if you guys ever been familiar with, I'm not sure if everybody familiar with this, but IBA.com is a website that shows boxing. They kind of like a amateur. They do amateur boxing. They do like their own sanctioned fights and stuff like that. So they have a card coming up on January the 31st. If you guys want to tap in, you go to the website. So the main event, you got Muslim Gazamilov. So he is the WBA Bridgeweight champion. He's going to face the faded contender, Mashinu, who has some good wins. He has some tough defeats. He's a solid fighter. So that's going to headline the show. You know what I'm saying? They normally have some solid fights, too, if you guys ever tapped in with it like that. So it's something to look out for if you guys looking for some boxing to watch. And it's free. You know what I'm saying? So if you go to their website, they'll have like a link to their YouTube channel. You click that, you in business. So I've been watching all their cards. So if you guys are interested, feel free to tap in with that for sure. Yes, sir. All right, here's the next one right here. We got, let me see. So we got this card right here. This is a Matchroom show. So this is basically a prospect show. So you got a lot of young fighters on the UK scene is on this card. It's going to headline by George Litter. He's a good fighter, yo. I seen him live. I think he was on the Conor Benn card last year in February in Vegas. He's a solid fighter. He got Boston on the card as well. He had a tough fight recently, so he's trying to bounce back off of that. You know what I'm saying? So Jimmy Sands is on the card. So there's a lot of young up and coming fighters that Matchroom is dealing with. So if you guys want to tap in, this is Friday, January 31st. So like in the afternoon, it's a prospect card. So feel free to tap in with that as well. All right, we got a card out in Canada. Shaquille Finn is on the card. Shaquille Finn is a solid super middleweight. He's a type of super middleweight that can fight some of these bigger name guys like Pacheco, like, you know what I'm saying, Berlanga, guys like that. I mean, he gave Eric Bayanzan a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? So he's a good fighter. He's going to headline a show up in Montreal, January the 31st. You got Matthew Germain on the card too. Now Germain, he was supposed to have been a possible opponent for George Kambosos. That fell out, so he's gonna take another fight. So maybe he been in the mix. You know what I'm saying? He got some world rankings of the IBF, so he's a name that up and coming guys may try to fight. You know what I'm saying? He got a good style too. So you guys can tap in with that. I don't have no link for this or no way to watch it right now, US TV, but I'm looking for it for sure. So we got the return of former world champion Mauricio Lara. So Mauricio Lara is coming back January 31st. He's fighting on ESPN Knockout. So you know Lara is a all-action fighter. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't really been looking good in the fight that I've seen after his loss. But you know, he always brings the action. He campaigned at 130 right now, so there are some good fights for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if he's still rocking with Matchroom, if just taking a fight like this, but Lara fits in. I mean, he'll make for great fights with Navarrete, Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez need to come back and get a good win. I think Mauricio Lara is a good opponent for him if he's not finished. I don't know if he want to fight somebody like Ray Ford. That may be a bad style matchup, but Lara is a good name. He's a strong guy, big puncher. And if he can get back to where he was in featherweight, he can do some things. So he'll be back this Friday, ESPN Knockout. Make sure you guys tap in if you haven't. So we switching to February the 1st. So it's a big day of boxing. We're going to start with this one out there in the UK. You can check out this card on Peacock. You got Adam Azim versus former world champion Sergey Lipinets. It's a 140-pound IBO title fight. You know what I'm saying? It's a step up for Adam Azim for sure. I like this fight. This is the type of fight Adam Azim needs. A guy that's going to bring some resistance, a tough guy, a guy that's going to bring the fight as well. Lipinets is faded to me. He one-dimensional, but he's strong. If you're going to sit there and fight his fight, you're going to be in there for a long fight. If he can take punches and be able to press Adam Azim, we may have something. But this is a fight for Adam Azim to look good against a former world champion. He got everything, all the advantages. You know what I'm saying? He got the speed, power, size. He got the youth. He should be able to keep this at long range and counter everything Sergey is doing. Sergey get hit a lot. You know what I'm saying? So Adam Azim should put on the show. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? But then again, if he can't get him up out of there, if he get injured or he get hurt or he just can't do nothing with Lipinets and he stay and fight the wrong fight, this can be a dog fight. So this is one you want to check out because this is like young fighters that's on the rise like Adam Azim. They need former world champions to come in there and test them. We know Lipinets, he been stopped one time. That's Jerome Bucenis, and that was at 47. Probably not a natural weight for him. But he been hit by bigger guys, so maybe he can take Adam Azim's power. We're going to have to see, you know what I'm saying? He also been there with Mikey. Mikey dropped him some years ago. So Lipinets, you know, he's been around. He's battle tested. Well, he can get outboxed. We seen the Michelle Rivera fight, and I think Adam Azim can do some of that. Plus, let his hands go a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, solid fight. Not too bad. Teach in the building. What's good with you, bro? Mar the Prince. What's good with you, bro? Yes, sir. Fight week. Let's go. Yes, sir. Got another one. So, recently added to this undercard, you got Callum Simpson. So, he just fought like a couple weeks ago. He's right back. You know what I'm saying? So, I expect him to get a victory. Maybe he'll get on one of these bigger cards. I like him, though. He's a big, strong super middleweight, up-and-coming guy, undefeated. He got a couple of world rankings across the board. So, hey, they're going to keep him active, man. I ain't mad at it. He just headlined his own show a few weeks ago. I think January the 11th. So, what's that, 3 weeks, 2 weeks? He right back in the ring. So, that's what's up. All right, February the 1st in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. We got this card right here. We got heavyweights going to headline. David Kimba versus Andre Wardrick. So, this is Kimba is an undefeated heavyweight prospect. Wardrick is a guy, he faded. He's been around for a long time. To me, I remember him the most from testing positive when he had the Deontay Wilder fight back in like 2017. That's when Gerald Washington came in and took the fight. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm not really high on Kimba. I'm going to keep it a buck. He signed with Top Rank, but he ain't really been impressive to me. Lorenzo Truck Simpson is on the card. He got a late replacement, Trayvon Smith. Fedor Shakazian, I like him. He's on the card. He's a good middleweight, good boxer. He only got one loss. He's solid. Former world champion Mayo Yoshida is on the card as well. So, if it's a card to tap into if you're interested in this. I know attention's going to be geared to Benavidez and Morrell, but, still got boxing out there. You can catch it on bxng.com. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to watch that, feel free. All right, so here's the big one right here. Benavidez versus Morrell. We've been waiting for this for a long time. Big time fighting, light heavyweight. We're going to talk about the card. You know what I'm saying? It's a loaded card, really. A lot of good names on the card. Off TV, prelims. You got the undercard, and then you got the main event. So we're going to touch on it. So here's a look. This is from a press release about the undercard, off TV. So Jose Benavidez Jr. is going to face Danny Rosenberger. I remember Danny Rosenberger. He fought Nico Ali. I think he tested positive in that fight too. He's a boxer, so he might give Jose some issues if he boxing and moving. You know what I'm saying? Carmel Moulton is on the card. He got Frank Zavala. So Carmel, so you know he had that mishap when he missed weight on the Danny Garcia undercard. So he trying to bounce back from that, trying to stay active. So you know he's one of the highly touted prospects we have in boxing. So we're looking forward to see him. Now they said his fight should be on the Amazon Prime YouTube channel or the Mayweather YouTube channel. One of those two. Hopefully we can tap in with that. We got a good fight at super middleweight. Daniel Blancas versus Juan Barajas. That's a good fight, actually. Two tall super middleweights. That's a good one. Gallegos versus Padilla. We have another Mayweather Promotions fighter, John Easter. 7-0, 7 KOs is on the card. You got a female fight. Gabrielle Tellers is on the card. So yeah, yo, if you go into the fight, like when I go to the fights, I like to go early to watch all the fights, undercard fights, all that shit. Get me hyped up. So hopefully they can show some of these fights, or we can catch it on somebody's stream or whatever. They should put all these undercard fights maybe like on the Mayweather YouTube channel and then call it a day. All right, for the prelims, we got 2 fights on the prelims. We're gonna start with Yoel Hernandez versus Andrew Ruiz. Hernandez, they are fast tracking him. He's number 1 in the WBA at 160 middleweight, so he close to being a mandatory for Lara. He's a good fighter, strong, talented Cuban. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the ring with, sparring with Dave Morrell. He did his camp with Dave Morrell. I seen him working with Canelo before. So he's a guy that they try to push towards a world title sooner than later. Andrew Ruiz is a strong southpaw. He's solid, but I seen him fight at 147 and 154. He was in that overtime tournament where he came up short against the Argentina fighter. I can't think of his name right now. But to me, I think he may be too small for Hernandez. We'll have to see. But this will be on the prelim, so you can catch it on the YouTube channel, the Premier Boxing channel, YouTube channel, or Amazon Prime YouTube. Or I think it's going to be on Amazon Prime too, on Prime Video. So tap in. The main event part of the prelims, you got Cuello versus Olivio. This is a WBA final eliminator at 126. So the winner is the mandatory for Nick Ball. Cuello, he's a good fighter, y'all. Real good, talented fighter. Fast hands. You know what I'm saying? He's an Olympian. He's good. He's the favorite. Olivio is a sturdy, tough Mexican fighter that's going to bring it. You know what I'm saying? He's good too. But Cuello is more talented. I like this fight for him. I think he wins. I think Cuello wins this fight, and he is in position to fight for a world title sometime this year. So that's a good one. That's the one to look out for. And then the pay-per-view card, you have Jesus Ramos Jr. versus Jason Rosario. This fight is at 160. Jesus Ramos took this fight at 160 because he couldn't get a big fight at 54. No Charlo, no J-Rock, no big fights. So he moving up to 60. I think his frame will fill out real well for 160. He's a big 154-pounder. Southpaw that can box and puncher. He had a good victory over Johan Gonzalez in his latest fight. His only losses to Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin beat him in a tough, close decision. He's facing a faded Jason Rosario. And we know Rosario is a former world champion, but he's faded. Now, he had a good fight, underrated fight with Jared Hurd. 2 faded guys. They fought on Pro Box, and they fought to a draw. So he looked decent in that fight. He came on strong late to get the draw. But we know Rosario, he's a sucker for body shots. I don't know how many times he's been down due to a body shot. And Ramos want to make a statement because they don't want to take it to the judges. It could be explosive. And Rosario can punch too. He's still haven't lost his punching power and his aggressiveness. It's just his durability. That's what I worry about. Because he's been in a lot of tough fights and hard fights, and he took a lot of damage, and Ramos haven't. he's a younger, fresher guy. So yeah, Andrew Gray in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. So yeah, that's gonna kick off the pay-per-view. Should be a fun fight. Pitbull Cruz versus Andrew Ferreira. This at 140 pounds. They fighting for the Aztec Warrior belt, WBC belt. It's like a trophy belt, but it's still interesting to me because I think Pitbull can go after the WBC title, the one in between Sandor Martin and Alberto Playo on March the 1st. Get the winner of that. But Ferreira is a tough opponent. He's strong. He's a Mexican fighter, so these guys' styles should match up. I don't see a lot of movement. Maybe if anybody gonna be moving, it's definitely gonna be Ferreira. Y'all know Pitbull is coming forward. You know his style. He coming off a loss. Ferreira, he coming off a win, but he had a loss before that where he got outboxed by my man Santiago from Puerto Rico. So Pitbull, Ferreira, it should be a good fight stylistically, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It should be a good fight. So it's kind of a good bounce back fight for Pitbull. But yeah. We'll see. It's like a good matchup to me. You know what I'm saying? It really don't got like big significance other than Pitbull Cruz. If he win, he get a world title fight probably. Co-main event, we got a rematch. So Brandon Figueroa versus Stephen Fulton. So the first fight was at 122. Fulton edged out the first fight. It was a real good fight. It was fought in the pocket. Fulton fought Figueroa's fight, and he kind of edged him out in his fight, but it was very close. You know what I'm saying? Since then, you know, Fulton he went and challenged anyway. Got stopped in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Took a long layoff, came back, and he got touched up by Castro. Got dropped. Got hurt a couple of times, but he dogged his way through to win a close decision against Carlos Castro. Figueroa, his last fight was against Jesse Madaleno. Stopped him to the body. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's been inactive as well, but he's the WBC champion because Ray Vargas is champion in recess. So they elevated Figueroa. Now, I don't know like what to expect. This got a lot of question marks because I think Fulton is diminished a little bit because he used to take those shots a little bit better before the anyway fight. You know, I know Castro is a solid opponent, but I feel like he was hurting Fulton a lot, buckling his legs and shit like that. So I don't know. Both guys is at 26, so they should be stronger and fresher at that. This one, I think it's Figueroa's fight to lose. I think this is a fight he wins. I ain't saying it's gonna be easy, but I think Figueroa can kind of press the issue, test the chin, and take it to Fulton. You know what I'm saying? That first fight, yes, Fulton did fight his fight, and he was stay on the inside banging with him. But it was a lot of holding and grabbing and all that shit. I don't know if he's gonna get the benefit of the doubt in a fight like this. In this type of fight with both guys at 126. I don't know. We'll see. I would like to see Fulton box a little bit if he got the legs to do it. I think he looked okay on his legs in his last fight. It's just the punch resistance, and that's the question. A lot of people is going against Fulton and picking Figueroa. Rightfully so, y'all. We ain't no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? For me, this is what I see. I think Figueroa can impose his style on him. And Fulton, this time, maybe he don't get away with fighting this style. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see. It's a tricky fight. If Fulton is coming out boxing, counter punching, walking Figueroa into some shots, catching Figueroa when he's switching from righty to southpaw, and doing it all night and fighting when he want to fight, he gonna have success. If he's standing in the trenches and he getting hit a bunch of times by Figueroa with that punch resistance that he's shown that he's lacking right now, we could see like a mid-round late stoppage type shit. I can see that. So we'll see. I like Figueroa in the fight. I like Ramos. I like Pitbull. He said judges these days. Yeah, I don't know. I think Fulton is diminished. I don't know if the judges are gonna even be necessary this one. I think Figueroa wins clear, but we'll see. Now, main event. Now, we've been waiting for this for a long time. You know what I'm saying? When it was at 168, Benavidez versus Morrell, the battle of the Davids, right? Man, it's a real tough fight to break down to call. I like both guys. Dave Morrell is a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? He's athletic. He got good power with both hands. He can box. He haven't really shown that. He's been attacking these guys. But I think really his best attribute is when he's using the Cuban style in boxing. I'm curious to see if he's going to bring that out for this fight. I think he will have to in this type of fight. It will serve him well. But he's been sitting there and banging with these dudes and getting them up out of there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the guys he's been facing really was no hopers. It was guys that really was just won't trying to win. I don't remember nobody fighting Morrell that really came to win. I think Lennox Allen gave him some good crafty rounds, but I don't know if he was like really coming to win. Guys like Calvin Henderson was tough. He was taking that shit. Alantez Fox. This is they say this is somebody that's Benavidez size. Same thing. This somebody is Morrell size he's facing. So we're gonna see. I think if he box and he set traps and be a aggressive counter puncher, and he can get his shots off as well, especially when Benavidez go to the high guard and he starts switching to southpaw, he can have some success. You know what I'm saying? We really don't know what's going to happen when somebody touch on Morrell's chin either. So that's a question mark too. We seen Benavidez in there with tougher competition and bigger names, and he get clipped, he keep coming. He smile and keep coming. How would that affect Morrell? Invest in the body, box, get your jab going, lateral movement. You can walk Benavidez into some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that can be the game plan for him, especially using his footwork. You know what I'm saying? Setting traps. And if you want to trade one or match your power with his and see what it is, I think that can be something too that's different from Benavidez too. Because like I said, they both fighting somebody that's their size legit. You know what I'm saying? They're not, both guys are big super middleweights. And when they had their fights at 75, although they won their fights, the power didn't look so explosive then. So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to see. Benavidez, you know what he brings to the table. He's a pressure fighter. He's in your face. He's trying to hurt you. Good body puncher. Good combination puncher. Fast hands. Durable. Strong. Gets stronger as the fight goes on. He got a kill or be killed attitude. He's trying to inflict pain on all his opponents. He is crafty with his defense when he want to be. He can move his head, you know what I'm saying, upper body movement. He can do that shit when he wants to. Benavidez is the guy that like to inflict punishment. And if you can't hurt him, you're going to have an issue in fights with him. He's going to get to you and wear you down. He's one of those guys. He's not a big one punch knockout artist, but he wears you down over time. I would say punch for punch, Morrell may be the bigger puncher. He's shown he's a bigger puncher with one punch. But Benavidez is a guy that, war of attrition type of guy, wear you down. And if he has Morrell holding his feet and standing his ground, I like Benavidez in that type of fight. You know what I'm saying? I do. I think he'll be able to withstand that over the duration of the fight. And I don't know if Morrell want to do that all the time. Maybe pick his spots. But I think it's a tough fight, though. I got it going down the wire. I think Benavidez going to have some issues early with the hand speed and the movement and possibly the power of Morrell. But I think once it gets to the back half of the fight, we haven't seen Morrell in the back half of fights, like in a hard fight. We've seen him go 12 a couple of times, and he ain't have no trouble with that. But it was guys where he controlled the pace and he wasn't really in no crazy danger. I think the pace may get to Morrell late. I can see a late stoppage for Benavidez, but I'm gonna go with Benavidez by decision. I think he win a decision. But we'll see though. But I think Morrell definitely has an opportunity to win this fight. It's not just a blowout. Just because he got 11 fights, I don't think that really got nothing to do with it. The styles, it could be favorable for him. So let's go, yo. I'm looking forward to it. This is a big fight. You know what I'm saying? PGA's Big Dog in the building. What's good with you? Salute. Auckland LDTV. Salute. He said, I can't wait. Bruce Gas in the building. Salute. Experience will matter. Mexican Monster will stop him late. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Trill Hill in the building. What's good? Yeah, let's go. I can see him stopping them late too. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be competitive. But I think Benavidez is going to wear him down and probably get the decision. I see a decision. But if he stop him, I can definitely see that too. That's what he's coming to do. So let's go. All right, last one. February the 2nd. Carissa Shields versus Danielle Perkins. This for the heavyweight championship of the world. So honestly, I'm confused with the weight, but it's heavy. I guess the contracted weight is 175. I don't want to get into it, but it's for all the titles at heavyweight. So Carissa has the WBC title, heavyweight title, and they're going to put the other ones on the line. So it is what it is. We're going to touch on the undercard just briefly. We got Brandon Moore, who's making his Salida Promotions debut. He just got released by Top Rank. He's going to face the 6'7" Skylar Lacey. That's a heavyweight fight. Joseph Hicks is on the card. He's a solid up-and-coming guy, welterweight. Joshua James Pagan, he's on the card as well. He just fought in Puerto Rico not too long ago, I think October. And got some ladies on the card. Samantha Worthington, Caroline Vetri is on the card. Leon Lawson III. You got Price Taylor, who is a heavyweight prospect, is on the card. So y'all tap in for that. You can catch this on the Zone Sunday, February the 2nd. But back to the main event. So this is interesting, right? This is interesting. Gregory Carmichael in the building. What's good with you, bro? I got Morrell by the upset. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see if we can pull it off. Yo, this is interesting right here because this is like the biggest opponent Carissa Shields in face. Danielle Perkins like 6'6", southpaw. She's an aggressive fighter. She can counterpunch. You know what I'm saying? She's okay. She's solid. The thing she's gonna be lacking in this fight is foot speed and hand speed. The speed difference is gonna be telling in this fight. But you got to be careful with a big, strong fighter like this because she haven't been tested. But you can see, if you watch her on tape, you can see she can fight. She got some skills and she got some threatening stuff about her. She do have a good check right hook as well. But she try to land that big left hand down the pipe. You know what I'm saying? I think Carissa Shields is going to be cautious early in this fight. And once she can figure out if the power is like that, and then I think she's just going to piece her up. I don't know if she's going to stop this big, strong girl. I'm not sure. But I think her power is a little different at this weight because she don't have to cut so much weight. I know the biggest thing about her is not having knockout power, but we understand she cut a lot of weight to get to 54, to get to 160. She ain't really cutting no weight. She doing like a whole boxing training camp. And for a fighter like Carissa Shields who has skills already, skills for days, this only make her better, make her technique better, and she don't really gotta lose the, you know what I'm saying, all that weight, and she don't lose her power, and she still can be fast at this weight. So she got middleweight speed fighting at 175 against a big, strong, but slower opponent. I gotta take Carissa Shields. I think it's gonna be another one-sided type of thing. It will be some danger early. I think it will be danger early because you can't just go in there reckless with this opponent, big and strong. She can break her down. Pot shots, counter punching. If she can find a way to push Danielle Perkins back, it might be real easy. But I think she'd be on the back foot, boxing, being smart like how she always do, and countering with her fast shots. And I think she'll, you know how Carissa do. Normally, her fights are 10-0, you know what I'm saying, 9-1. I don't know if it's going to be a dog fight like the Savannah Marshall fight was. But you see how she was be able to deal with a big, strong opponent in the trenches. You know, Carissa Shields can deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So it won't be no issue. I think she's going to get to that, but I think she'll ease her way into that. So expect a lot of straight right hands down the pipe, fast combinations. Y'all know how she get down. So I'm expecting Carissa Shields to win by unanimous decision again. Now she hurt him, and she, which I think is possible. We'll see. I know Carissa looked good in her last fight when she got the knockout victory against that opponent. That opponent rushed her, and she got to it. I think Danielle Perkins is gonna be kind of cautious at first too, with the speed, because the speed. I think she knows the speed is the difference. So we'll see. Perkins is long like a WNBA player, but Carissa has too many shields. Shields has too many skills for her. No, I agree with that, bro, for sure. I agree with that. Winston Lee, what's good with you? So yeah, that's what it is, man. We get to see some good time, some big time boxing this weekend. We're gonna do a little recap. We're gonna close it out. I want to salute everybody coming through the building for sure. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys' time. You don't think Morrell's power could be? Yeah. I mentioned that. I mentioned that in my breakdown for sure. I think it will be his power, his speed, and his footwork. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mentioned that. I don't know if you missed that, but yeah, I definitely mentioned that. I do think so. I think it's one of those fights where Benavidez is gonna have to come from behind, kind of like how he did in the Plant fight. I see that type of fight where he'll have to dig down and probably outwill Dave Morrell. That's how I see it, but we'll see. All right, so just a little recap. Everything that I'm covering is on my website. You go to the weekly boxing schedule. You can see it just like this, and it tells you where you can go watch these cards as well. So this one right here is a card from Russia, IBA. You know what I'm saying? You got the Bridgeweight champion at the top, Gazamadayev. So he's facing Mashinyu. So you guys can watch this on the IBA website. You know what I'm saying? IBA.com. It'll take you straight to the link to watch the fight. So this will be Friday early morning, so you guys can tap in with that. Matchroom has a card on Friday. It's a next gen card, prospect card. So if you want to get to know these young guys, feel free to tap in. Keeping these guys busy for sure. We have a card in Canada. It's going to headline by Shaquille Finn. He's a French contender at the 168-pound division. He's the type of guy I like to look out for because he may get a big opportunity with Pacheco, Berlinga looking for an opponent. These super middleweights that need step-up fights. So I like to tap in with him. Former world champion Mauricio Lara is back. So he's fighting January 31st on ESPN Knockout. So good to see him back because he can fit in nicely in 130 pounds as well. There's some fights to be made for him. So he'll be back. Y'all tap in with that. So Boxer has a show February the 1st. Adam Mazem versus Sergey Lipinets. This is a step-up fight on paper for Adam Mazem. We know Lipinets is a former champion. I think he's past it, but he's tough enough to give some solid rounds. Amazem has all of the qualities to be able to win this fight, but he had to do it in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Then we have a card from New Jersey. You guys want to tap in? You got some notable names on here. David Kimba. You have Lorenzo Truck Simpsons on the card. Former champion Mayo Yoshida. Fedor Shikazian. So there's some notable guys on this card. You can catch this on bxgn.com. So you guys can tap in with that if you're interested. Then we had the Morrell versus Benavidez versus Morrell card. You know what I'm saying? PBC pay-per-view. Looking forward to this fight. It's a big time fight, man. We've been talking about it for the longest. We've been wanting to see it for the longest. That's the main event. You have Figueroa versus Fulton, the rematch. I expect another good fight. Pitbull versus Fiora. That should be fun too. Good style matchup. Jesus Ramos versus Jason Rosario. Prelims. You have Cuellar versus Olivio. That's the WBA eliminator. And featherweight. Hernandez versus Ruiz. That's at 160. Hernandez is number 1 in the WBA. He got like 3 or 4 fights. And then, let me touch on this. The Off TV got some notable names too. Hopefully we can get a stream for this. Jose Benavidez Jr. is on the card. Carmel Moulton is on the undercard. Palancas versus Barajas. That's a good fight, super middleweight. Gallegos versus Padilla, John Easter. So yeah, the whole card from top to bottom is actually good. So yeah, and then we're gonna cap off the fight week with Carissa Shields versus Danielle Perkins. Looking forward to this. I want to see how Carissa Shields navigate this fight against a big, strong southpaw. Yeah, I want to see how she navigated. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Perkins have. See what she brings to the table. So yeah, that's what it is. I want to know who Voni is. Oh yeah, tap in with Voni. He's a good fighter. Georgia in the building. Voni is a good fighter. He fought on the undercard of Terrence Bud Crawford versus Sean Porter. He was on that pay-per-view undercard. He fought the Southpaw Fat Cow. It was an IBF final eliminator, and he lost by a technical decision. He got out to a slow start, but then he started coming on. He's a tall, rangy boxer. He's crafty. He can slow down the pace and outbox you. He got a good, strong right hand. He's durable. He can take shots. He's a good fighter. He just beat and stopped Stephen Butler in Canada. He was the B-side opponent. He went in there and boxed his head off, and then he stopped him. Did he stop him? I'm not sure. I think he stopped him. Voni is a tough opponent for Ammo. Ammo is on upset alert. If you're betting, if you like to bet, if you're into betting, check out those lines when they come out. Ammo's in a tough fight. This guy, he's tall. He know how to keep his range. He don't really make a lot of mistakes. The thing that gets Voni in trouble, sometimes he's not as aggressive. Go watch his fights. His fights is on YouTube. His fights is around. He was, like I said, he was on the Crawford Porter undercard. Tap in with him. You know what I'm saying? You can make some money if you do your research the correct way. He can beat Ammo. So tap in. Yes, sir. So yeah, that's my time right there, man. I appreciate you guys coming through. You can follow me on my social media, scrolling across the bottom, Twitter, Instagram. Tap into the website. I got the schedule up. So yes, sir. Make sure everybody's tapped in. Watch this boxing. It's gonna be crazy. So salute to everybody. That's my time, and I'm